I'm Rabbi Patrick, and welcome to Kihila. Okay, Stephanie Paps.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So we're here in the tiki room.
Mm-hmm.
What on earth led you to think that it would be a good idea for me to do this to our house?
Well, I think it's all about like when we moved out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure I wanted to move to the burbs.
Even though technically we moved to the burbs first.
Well, yeah, but not this far into the burbs.
Right. Because
Yeah.
we were in Bon Air before then.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure I wanted to move out here.
Yeah.
And you told me if we got a big house, we could do anything with it. I was like, okay, sure.
So why not a tiki room?
So why not a tiki room? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite thing here in the tiki room now that we've like added new furniture?
Now that we've redecorated. I don't know. I do like the palm tree. I think the palm tree with the little light on it. I think that's a nice touch.
That we got from one of our
for free. We really need to fix the lights.
Yeah, it is kind of like drooping randomly. Yeah, we do need to fix that. Did you ever think when we were dating that like one day you were going to run a synagogue out of a tiki room in your house in the suburbs of Richmond, Virginia?
No, I did not.
That wasn't on your bingo card?
Yeah, that wasn't in the cards when we first started dating. I mean, I was so young though. I mean, not that young. I mean,
we both, we were
28, 29. I don't know. Something like that.
When you're 42, that's young.
Yeah. So
when your kid is 20, like,
what did I know?
Yeah, I mean, so I was looking at photos today that I took at the last Shabbat that we had, and I had totally like just taken these like candid shots, and it was like people here in the tiki room, just like hanging out and whatever, and I posted them on Instagram, and I was just like, that's one way to promote Judaism. I mean,
come to my tiki room.
Come to my tiki room. Yeah. Right.
We're probably the only synagogue like in the world with a tiki room.
Yeah, because remember when we were in Israel and we went to the Israel Museum and they have that section that's basically like the remnants of synagogues. And like, one was like Jarkata, I think.
It's like strangely sad.
It is, because on one hand, it's like, it's great that they rescued that stuff.
Right. But on the other hand, you're like, but that means they don't exist anymore as communities.
Yeah. There's part of me that when I think about that exhibit, I kind of think about this room. You know what I mean? Of like, when you go in, like the one, like for some reason, the one that's Jarkata, like just sticks in my head. Like I remember that one the best. There's something about that and how it kind of had this like very Asiatic, South East Asian, vibe to it, even though it was like a Jewish community.
Yeah.
And I kind of think about this room and I'm like, yeah, but that kind of works, doesn't it? On some level, right? Because it's a representation of who the people are. It's not really as weird as it seems, even though it's totally weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the original idea, we were going to make this a Star Wars tiki room.
That's right.
If you remember originally. But then we decided that was really too much for a single room. So,
Which is fair because we have the Star Wars stuff kind of in the living room.
Yeah.
And there's no way, like, I mean, the amount of effort we'd have to put into like theming this room in order to make that happen.
Yeah, that would take a lot.
It kind of would. Yeah. So I think it's good. We could do a better job, I think, though, of Star Warsing that one section.
I kind of want to get like a dessert table.
Do you really?
Yeah, like they have in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Have like the couch type setup. Sure. Like, I think it'd be totally cool.
So I think that for like $2,000, you can buy one of those tables. on like Etsy. Like I think there's people that make
thought into it.
Put thought into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some
do a fundraiser.
Yeah,
do a fundraiser to raise money for that.
Just raise money for Kahila, and if you get to a certain amount, then I'll get the Dejeric table.
Oh, there you go. That's a great idea. Like you're fundraising, and you're clearly fundraising for the synagogue.
Yeah, it goes to the synagogue, but
on the other hand, if you reach a certain goal, then we will, out of our own money, buy the table so that we can play Star Wars, card games.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you on that. That'd be so funny. People would be into that too. Austin and Brittany, at least, would be
probably
meaning mostly Austin. Yeah. I think the thing about what we do here, I feel like is kind of a throwback to what we were doing years ago.
Like originally.
Yeah. Like in Atlanta and the way back, because like, what was our second date? It was Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, it was.
Right? It was a Rosh Hashanah dinner that you had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at my apartment. And like
your wonderful, swanky Atlanta apartment.
That's right.
It technically wasn't even a one bedroom.
But it overlooked I-20. And it was great. I mean, it was one bedroom, sort of.
It didn't have a door to your bedroom. That's why I don't say that it was.
But it had a very large closet. In fact, my closet there might have been bigger than my closet today.
I don't remember what your closet was like.
It was walk-in. Like you walked in, it was wrapped around.
That's right.
It was quite nice.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember you had like, I think it was like 8 people were at like that dinner or whatever.
So yeah, that one was, so there was that Rosh Hashanah. Yeah.
Right.
That was, we had just started dating.
Like a week and a half ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. And because then I came to Athens.
Yeah.
And then we went up to North Georgia for Yom Kippur.
That's right.
That year.
Yeah. We did. Yeah, with Mitch. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think later though, the Passover following that, we did that big Passover.
In your community room.
In the community room. And we had
a potluck.
We had like 15 or 20 people.
Yeah.
But then when we were then living together in like that apartment and then our condo, we did a lot of like stuff in our house all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, and how crazy, like, do these things go full circle that you and I hosted like a kind of open Passover Seder, and then I went on an Israel trip years later with one of the people that was sitting at that table.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not much of a huge stretch then that, whatever that is, however many years later, over a decade later, you're kind of doing the same gig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you put up with it? What is it that allows you as a clergy spouse to kind of give that space? Mm-hmm. Because I think there's a lot of clergy spouses that would say, like, no way, like, that's an invasion of my home.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there's a few different reasons why, but I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, I think that a lot of parts of Judaism are best experienced in a home,
right,
with other people,
right.
Like, I think a lot of like our religion isn't really intended to be like in like a communal worship space. It's intended to happen at home,
right,
with like family and friends,
right.
And so, like, I know for myself, like, before you and I were together, like those were the things I really appreciated, were things where like I went to someone's house,
right,
with, a small group of people.
Right.
So, and I think that's, that's the thing. And like, even though like, I know sometimes like I'll kind of like run away at some point, I mean, it's just
sure. Had a long day.
Like, I work my own job and like, might be tired and just kind of, it's not that I begrudge people being here. It's just like, I'm tired and like, I'm done for the night. You know,
having a 2-story home helps with that.
Oh yeah.
Because you can kind of like, people understand that the upstairs is for us.
Yeah.
You know, because that's where Javon's room is and where our room is. And it's like, peace out. Like, if someone's upstairs, like, then they're gone.
Yeah. But I think that's like, I think that's kind of the main reason why I like, you know, I'm fine with having stuff here and I support it, you know, so.
Yeah, you recognize, like you said, that it's a home-based religion, so you need a home to do it in. But having said that, if we won the lotto and you could have any house, now it's like the what's that? Forget what it was on social media, and you're not into this kind of stuff, so you wouldn't remember it, I don't think. But it's the thing where it's like a genie grants you a wish, but it's also like a thing that you don't want. So it's like, I forget what that was called, but it was a thing where people would post a wish, and it would be like, I forget what the meme was, but it was like you post a wish, like, I wish for $1 million, and it would say like, the genie's granted your wish, but you can only spend it on gefilte fish, right? Like, it's this whole thing of like, you ask for something, but you get like the sideways version of it. So this is my genie, whatever that thing was called when that was like the 5-second meme.
Yeah.
Okay, so you win the lotto, millions of dollars. You have any house you want. But we still have to run a synagogue out of it. That's the like genie catch. How would you design the house?
I don't know.
Like, what would it look like? Like, what would the architecture and
I mean, I think first of all, I'd have like a nice big outdoor space.
Okay.
You know, I do wish we had a little bit better like outdoor space where you could like, you know, really have like a lot of seating, like maybe have outdoor heaters. You know, so like you can make it like more like friendly.
Yeah.
You know, longer parts of the year.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, a little more coverage too, you know, like some type of canopy or so I think some outdoor space would be nice. And then I mean, just honestly, bigger kitchen, you know.
Yeah.
Bigger kitchen, like show kitchen type deal. Because everyone likes to hang out in the kitchen all the time.
Right.
And big living room with like big couches, like, you know, like I would get those like love sack couches, but like a bunch of them. I'd spend like $10,000 or $20,000 on love sacks that like,
nice.
Like, you know, line the room. So,
well, not that anyone sponsors this podcast except for the wonderful people who have donated to make it possible. But Lovesack, I guess, if you're listening.
Yep.
Or any of the many real estate developers in Richmond.
Yeah, think how great that would be though, because you can like those things are modular and so you just move it all around. I mean, like, I haven't wanted to spend that much on furniture, but I do think it's a great concept. Like,
you know what's funny about like Shabbat dinners especially is that you think about how big our house is, right? I mean, to us, like it's a big house, right? I know to some people, like in Cambria Cove or Charter Colony,
our house is like, you know,
is
nice in a modest, modest sort of
you go
way.
in the city and this place is a mansion.
Yeah.
You know,
you go anywhere around here and it's like, that's a nice medium, modest size house.
Right. But, exactly. Yeah. You go out to, oh shoot, what's the neighborhood that's across the water from us that we're always joking about? Woodlake, yeah. You go to Woodlake, and this is like a small house.
This is a small house in Woodlake, yeah.
But for as large as I feel this house is, it's funny to me how there's basically only like a tiny number of spaces people want to be in.
Yes.
Right? They want to be in the tiki room where we are now, or they want to sit like at the 3 or 4 seats that are available around like literally the table that's owned by my mother that sits in the middle of our kitchen now.
Yeah.
Right. Or our table, which fits like 6 people.
Yeah.
Right. We have all of that space in the living room where we'll do like worship and stuff like that. No one ever sits there.
No.
Unless literally we're leading service.
Yes. No one sits in our living room.
Yeah.
Unless we force them to.
Unless we force them to. We tell them, all right, everybody clean up. It's time for, you know, L'Chadu Day. Yeah. You know, I was talking to Linda Solomon about this room, and I made a comment, just completely offhanded, that I would think it would be neat if you looked at one of these office buildings where they, it's the old school thing of like these businesses that would need like 6 offices with doors that close and whatever. I was like, if people really just want to hang out in these tiny little rooms, what we should do is like find some old accountant's office where they have like 6 tiny little offices, from back in the day when that was the way work was designed, and just basically make 6 quote unquote tiki rooms, meaning like one is like a room that would be, I don't know, let's say South American themed. But it's the South American Jewish community. It's going back to the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going back to the thing of at the Israel Museum, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you have a Southeast Asian Jewish community room, and you get like, I mean, I don't know how you'd find antiques. That'd probably be impossible. But like, you replicate the artwork, you replicate the design, whatever. And then you do like, whatever, a room that's Israel. You do a room that's whatever. Because if everyone wants to sit in like little groups of 4 or 6, then like let people hang out in these really cool little themed rooms.
Yeah.
Right. And I probably had 2 glasses of wine when I came up with that idea. Right. And Linda was all about it. Linda thought this was like the coolest idea.
That, yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to Linda, because Linda gave us a bunch of records that we now listen to. So that was really nice of her to do that. But yeah, so, that's a thought, find some like 1980s, office building somewhere in Midlothian and just take that over.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably a bad idea.
Yeah. Seems, yeah.
Do you think that over time, your sense of what it means to be someone who builds Jewish community has changed? Because I know you probably wouldn't think of yourself as a person who does that, but you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
do you even think of yourself as someone who does that?
No.
But you are, right? Like you give up your home, and we talk about this stuff all the time, and you lead service, and
right. Yeah, I just think of that as something you do.
Yeah, it's just something you do.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
I remember like. So Hazan Marian Turk actually made a comment about this once, that like maybe the professionalization of Judaism was a bad thing. Like maybe historically that was a bit of a bad move.
I've heard her talk about that. Maybe. That maybe that
rough thing for a cantor and a rabbi to talk about. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really think about it that much. Maybe I'm like not a very deep person.
No, that's not true. It's not something that's just, you're not thinking about that like the way that she and I would. But I wonder if there is a point to that on some level of, what you said about, a religion of the home, the family, the friends, the community. If you make it about the building and the membership and the services that you provide to people, when you get, whatever, 20% off weddings or whatever, however that stuff works.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe that does become a problem at a certain point.
Yeah. I think, because at that point it's more club.
Right. Right.
Like you're joining a club as opposed to like a religion, as opposed to sort of a people, know. So.
Yeah. Does the stuff you do here ever accidentally overlap at your day job?
Rarely, very rarely. So, I mean, like once in a while, I'll get asked about when the holidays are to try to just like make sure our calendar for things is, sensitive. But
HR pulls you in and it's like, hey, we need someone to.
Yeah, someone will ask me. They're like, that's about as far as it goes. I mean, yeah, no, other than that, it doesn't overlap at all, which is nice. So.
You got me a wedding and a funeral.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
That's kind of weird, though. It was sort of a weird,
Well, the funeral was a friend, and that was a little different.
Yeah, that was different, and that was before we lived here in Richmond.
Yeah,
and it was a friend of mine and a colleague that I worked with. That his mother unfortunately passed, and they were Jewish and wanted a Jewish funeral for her.
Yeah.
But the family was totally disconnected from the Jewish community there. So, So yeah, that was one. And then yeah, the wedding was a weird one because that guy, like, I don't even know how he knew about you, how he knew about me. And he emailed me at my work address, and was like,
Tell your husband.
tell your husband I need to get married, It was
Right.
like, okay, this is very, very strange.
Yeah.
So,
It was
like,
really random because it was like his daughter had worked with someone
and I still can't figure
or
out
something
who
like
it was that
You still
worked
don't
with.
even know?
I still have no idea who I worked with that was somehow connected
Somehow.
to them. Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I never figured it out. And it could be that, they told me and I just don't remember. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Stuff like that's so funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so funny, like, when I think about over the years, it's like our life has changed a lot, becoming parents as we've gotten
Mhm.
older, whatever. But things like some of these things like having, like, Shabbat and whatever, you
Yeah.
leading liturgically, whatever, that stuff hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's
That's still
true.
kind of the same way that we approach stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think when you think about, like, when we first met and we were I mean, I think both of us were actually in some ways a lot more traditional
Mhm.
than we are now.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You definitely were.
I definitely was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
some
guess I probably was too, though.
in some ways,
Yeah.
right? We belong to a conservative synagogue, like
You belong to a conservative synagogue. I was a vegetarian. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
in my attempts to keep kosher. I just
I
decided to be a vegetarian. That would make it easy.
Well, we both kind of were,
Yeah.
right? Because like I would go eat meat at what was the name of that place? Pita Palace.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
kosher shawarma place. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that was it. That was like the one place.
Yeah.
That or like going to some like synagogue thing somewhere where
Mhm.
like meat was being served. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny. Like when we moved here and we sort of tried to replicate that life. I think for a minute.
I think so. Yeah. And I mean, like, I was much more like, I like really went to synagogues,
Yeah, yeah,
like when we lived in Atlanta in particular,
right,
I really was, I went to service, pretty much weekly, I went either Friday or Saturday or both.
right.
Um, yeah, so in that way, yeah, definitely.
It is kind of amusing on some level, like how our approaches to Judaism as individuals almost kind of flip-flopped because
Mhm.
I feel like when when you and I were dating, you were much, I would say, better about the communal component.
Yeah.
And I was working as a Jewish educator, but like very much like on my laptop and,
Mhm.
like obviously I would go to stuff, like I would go to shul and whatever, but
Yeah.
not to the degree you did.
Yeah,
And
that's
I was never involved the way that you were,
Mhm.
like it wasn't until I went to rabbinical school that suddenly I was getting invited to kind of like do stuff,
Yeah.
right? But you were like way beyond me at that. And then we got married, I was ordained and all that. And we were in Atlanta and it kind of stayed that way.
Mhm.
And then we moved here and the whole ballgame changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because we were in Atlanta for another 2 years after we got married,
Yeah.
and then we moved here. So, yeah, yeah, it all changed here.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's kind of the thing that happens when someone becomes a communal leader. It kind of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
flip flops.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever miss it? Do you ever miss it when it was the other way around?
A little bit, yeah, and I've tried to, I've tried to kinda recreate that at different points and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. It's harder to
A
do.
different place, different,
Yeah.
different culture, different,
Different options too.
yeah, and different options. Yeah, it just doesn't work the same way here, so.
Well, because I talked to, you know, Rabbi Sandy at my other gig about this. Like,
Mhm.
he lives in White Plains. There's a billion Jewish choices up there as far
Mhm.
as everything. And, him and Anne are, very much in the conservative Jewish milieu. That's what
Mhm.
matters to them. And like, I will tell you, going up there once a year and hanging out with them, it's an excuse for me to go to synagogue.
Yeah.
Like I literally fly to New York so that I can go to a synagogue sometimes.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like go to like a legit like Kabbalat Shabbat service,
Mhm.
dinner, the whole, the whole.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'd like to go to Philadelphia and do this, but you won't let me go to Philly.
It's not that okay. To be fair, there is no let in this relationship. We don't do that to each other.
It's true. That's true. I'm like taking off next weekend to go to a yoga retreat on my own.
I know. On Tu B'Av, I might add. And I have to then thank God that Pam is willing to host, the Tu B'Av Shabbat because
I'll be in Boone, North Carolina.
Right, on Jewish Valentine's Day, right? Of course, that makes perfect sense. But Philly I'd be about. The problem is just like the last time we went there. Okay, so you have Zahav, which is great, and Dizengoff, and like the whole, Michael Solomonov like restaurant, throwdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like you get like it takes what 2 extra hours over DC.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the train, it's about 4 hours.
It's about 4 hours, and then I just feel like I'm in DC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of like not the culture necessarily, but the attractions and sort of all that.
Yeah.
So I almost get to a point where I'm like, well, I mean, if I want to talk about the Revolutionary War and go to museums and eat Israeli food, I can do that and only drive an hour and a half.
But you could go to a synagogue.
I mean, I could go to a synagogue in DC if I want to.
Well, that's true too.
I could go to a lot in DC if I wanted to.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, Julie in my other life, goes to Adas Israel.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she loves it. Yeah, she loves it. And I
was into Adas Israel, man.
Yeah, well, Carla, who used to live
there,
right, is Adas Israel.
Yeah.
So I need to. So I will admit I am a stan for Adas Israel's website.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way their website is designed, it's a beautiful piece of art.
Okay.
And like I will never be able to do what they do with that website.
Yeah.
Because from a design standpoint, like lots of photography, I just
Yeah. I don't have Instagram at the moment. I go back and forth.
You're smart.
Yeah. Sometimes I have Instagram, sometimes I don't. I feel like if I start scrolling too much, then I delete it from my phone because like the algorithm's trying to get me. But whatever, when I do have Instagram, I feel like there's some interesting things in New York we could go to.
Okay. Like what would you want to go to?
Like, there's just a bunch of like creative, like, synagogue type things happening up there.
Sure. I actually remember years ago, Michael Croland, who used to do the Heben Vegan blog. That's how long ago that was, right? I'm referencing a blog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he took me to this thing, and it was a Saturday morning service. Matter of fact, it was the morning before Purim, and I was playing a concert up there, and we were staying at his apartment in Astoria, and I don't remember the name of the community, but basically it was for lack of a better word, a conservative Shabbat morning service.
Mm-hmm.
And they had multiple kinds of siddurim laying out. And then they had like a guide. It was kind of like what we had in Atlanta, at Atlanta Chevron Minion, where they had the guides for like, if you're using this siddur, here's the page number for whatever prayer. And you went in and someone was leading the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And you just walked in and you just did it, which is more like an Orthodox thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And in the middle of it, like I started talking to some random guy who was friends with Michael and was introducing me, and he was like plugging our show and the band I was in and all that. And I remember you felt like you were in a beehive because it was just everyone just kind of doing their own thing and like, whatever, like, it wasn't what you find in like a Reform service, which is very much like a more
it's more
structured. Yeah. Where everyone just kind of has to shut up and pay attention.
Yeah.
Whatever. Except for like the 3 old guys in the back, usually. It's always 3 old guys in the back.
Yeah.
But I like that was like a very cool experience to me.
Right.
To go to that. Or like when we've gone to Limud before.
Yeah. Yeah. Limud is something that like, it seems like there aren't as many of them happening anymore.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if there were, I'd like to go to one because just like, it'd be nice to be around other Jews and to like, to learn from other people, because when you live in like a smaller city like this, especially a smaller southern city, you just don't have a lot of that going on. So
it's crucial, I think. And I remember seeing it. I don't remember social media of some kind. Yessel Kranz at Chabad in Virginia went to the annual Shluchim like conference, like that they do, right? And he posted a picture or video or something like that, and he said, and the caption was something like where the inspirers go to get inspired. And I think that's really kind of true.
Yeah.
Like everyone should go to things like this, but like Limud or Global Day of Jewish Learning at the JCC or whatever. But I think it's especially true for couples like us. Like you kind of need to go somewhere that isn't where you serve.
Yeah.
And like learn the things you're interested in.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just figuring out where that is anymore. You know?
Yeah. COVID really just absolutely beat.
It took a lot of that stuff out,
I mean, why do you think, I mean, like Limud aside, it seems like it's everywhere, right? That like classes have dwindled, whatever. And everyone's always saying like, especially after October 7th, like, oh, people have such a hunger for community. They just desperately want to. And I go to stuff outside of Kehila. And yeah, I mean, there's still people who want to get together.
Right.
But like, there isn't this kind of epic number of people. Like, I just don't see it. I don't know if I'm going to the wrong things, but.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I mean, I think that there's maybe, COVID maybe taught us all some like the wrong lessons,
Yeah.
That like, sure, you can, that learning you want to do, like you can do that from your couch.
Right. Right.
You don't have to go there. And that's true. But like, is that like doing it from your couch? Is it as inspiring?
Yeah.
Or, as consequential as going somewhere and being with people,
right.
And I mean, I don't think it is, but I think the problem is that it's so easy.
Yeah. 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 It totally is, because you can sort of trick yourself into believing that you're doing as much learning or connecting with people as much when you're on social media.
Right.
Right. Or watching a video or whatever, Zoom or whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Matt that I think is so incredible, is that running spiritual school and doing it all online, like he did the first, I think 2 or 3 classes were in his house.
And I mean, you can't deny, like there are benefits to that, right? Like doing things online, like it creates a level of access you can never have with in-person events.
Right. But to replace, it should be, it's a yes and.
Right.
Not a instead of.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's something that I struggle with, and you've seen me deal with this like recently, just how hard it is to try around education, especially to get people interested. And I'm like super jealous of Matt because like everybody loves him and it makes me feel like a terrible teacher. And I've told him that to his face. Just chopped liver. Well, and he's a vegan too. Like just Matt's better than me, just like as a person.
Sorry, he's vegan.
He's a vegan. He doesn't drink alcohol. He taught himself Farsi so that he could read Rumi.
Oh wow, he truly is a better person
isn't he though?
Than all of us.
Than all of us. Yeah, he's a wonderful man. Yeah. And he's like one of the greatest mystics I've ever met. Yeah. Like for a person, especially someone who's not ordained, like he truly knows what he's talking about. Where was I going with this? Just sucking up about Matt. Oh, so like how we've talked about this, and you're probably tired of me even bringing it up. Like it used to be not hard to get people in a room for a class.
Yeah.
And post-COVID, I mean, I feel like it's the past 5 years, not even the past 5 years, but the past 2 years.
Well, and I know recently it's been a real struggle. And some of that is summer, right?
Yeah, like, to be fair.
Like Richmond summer, like,
Right.
Everyone's at the Outer Banks, Patrick. I've been trying to tell you.
I know.
For 9 years.
I know you have. But you know what? I totally hold a Patrick on this one. So the last time you told me I needed to not worry about this because everybody's like at the Outer Banks or whatever, I went on my phone and I searched because like it's hard to search things that are synagogue Jewish oriented like on YouTube. So I usually do it about churches. So on YouTube I posted lack of attendance at church in summer just to see what would come up. The sheer volume of videos that were like how to reboot your church during the summer, how to get people to come to stuff they don't want to come to. Here's the 5 reasons you're a crummy Christian if you don't show up to church in the summer. And I think I watched like maybe 2 minutes of this stuff. But like one of the videos was like, don't you dare cut your adult ed program in the summer at your church because like that shows you weren't in it for the Lord. And I was just like, I watched that, but then I took from it like the wrong lesson, which is like, oh, wow, he's right. I'm clearly not a good rabbi if I can't get people to come to my, you know what I mean? Which is so not the right thing to do, but I just need to listen to you, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It's Richmond and it's the summer. So, which the summer in Richmond here is getting shorter now that our schools go back to school like before Labor Day.
I'm against this. I'm just principally against
Chesterfield,
this.
August 18th. August 18th, these kids in Chesterfield County going back to school.
Can I tell you, I
saw the bus doing a test run.
Did you really?
Yeah, yesterday.
No.
Yeah, there was a bus doing a test run.
I went to Target the other day and I saw, because like stupid me, I was like, oh, I wonder if they would have, this is so silly, going back to the tiki room, I was like, I wonder if they'll have fake plants, like discounted because of like leftover summer, whatever, right?
Summer stuff, yeah.
So we went together actually. You were getting some stuff. I was like, I'm going to go to the seasonal section.
Yeah.
I go to the seasonal section. They are now discounting school supplies.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning like, because like the rush is over.
Yeah, because they start in 2 more weeks.
Yeah. And like the kids have already gotten there. Like, here's all the things you need to buy for school stuff, whatever. And I'm like,
they're moving on to Halloween. And they'll be moving on to Christmas around September 15th.
I'm okay with them moving on to Halloween quickly. Like this whole summerween phenomenon that like is on social media. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Because
like, look at who you're talking to.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You saw a bunch of stuff at World Market you wanted to get.
I did. I saw a little wreath that was like a black cat wreath. I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah, and the stuff for your little Halloween town.
Oh yeah, I have a Halloween town that I keep next to my desk.
You do.
It's inspiring while I do my work when I work from
home. Do you really get inspired by it?
When I rarely work from home, but when I do, I sit there and I'm like, oh, Halloween town.
Do you ever turn the little lights on?
I don't, but I should.
You should.
Yeah.
I wish we could
play Halloween music.
Oh yeah. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. It's like July 15th or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think Jews love Halloween so much?
I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun,
But there is some like okay.
No, Jews love Halloween and Thanksgiving. Those are the 2.
I never thought about the Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. We're not the only Jews that love Thanksgiving.
So like, how is that a thing?
Our kid doesn't love Thanksgiving.
No, he hates Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Passion loves Passover though.
Yes, he does.
The Thanksgiving thing though,
yeah, that's a thing.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So the only thing about
people should call in and tell us about their love of Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So funny thing about that is that there is a link that you can click and it says like, if you have questions, click here and it will go to this thing called fan mail.
Okay.
Sean Harris is the only person who's ever sent in fan mail.
Well, remember at the Thanksgiving where we got invited to the Fruwalds? That was a glorious Thanksgiving.
That was a glorious Thanksgiving. Shout out to Carol and Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. Well, and that was the one where like I was kind of, off shift, so to speak, because it's like not a Jewish holiday. And then Carol was like, okay, well, maybe the rabbi could say a few words.
That's right.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool, got it. No, it was fun. But Thanksgiving though, I didn't know that was.
That's yeah. Okay.
So the Lubavitcher Rebbe apparently was part of that.
Okay.
In the Orthodox world, I don't know about everybody else, but
yeah.
So there was a question that was posed to the Lubavitcher Rebbe about whether or not Jews should celebrate Thanksgiving, and he basically said, like, we live in this country that has freedom of religion, and we were invited here by George Washington. And
of course you.
So of course you would celebrate it.
Yeah.
Well, because the other question is like, can Jews eat turkeys? That was a thing. Some Hasidim say you can't. Like, it's a minority.
That's a stretch.
It's a huge stretch.
A real stretch.
Well, especially when you go to Israel and they make the shawarma, right? But it's like turkey with lamb fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's a real legal stretch there.
So Thanksgiving, though, is that because it's like Sukkot but secular?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's a holiday that everyone celebrates that we can be on board with, right?
Okay, got it.
It's not like Christmas,
right? Or even Halloween for certain people, or whatever.
New Year's can be a little frosty.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's not our New Year.
It's not our New Year, In
Israel, they call it Sylvester.
Yeah.
Which then makes me think of the disco. Sylvester. Yeah, not Saint
Sylvester record here.
We did. So. Yeah. Make me feel. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's why.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So if you could tell anyone anything right now about, because you have Kahila people only, except for like some random person in Macau is listening to this.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, hello, Macau.
Yeah. If you could tell them anything about what we do, why it matters, what's interesting about it, crazy stories, whatever, what would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we have a very like warm community, and we're creative, and we try to involve people, and I don't know. I don't have a real coherent answer to that, but
that's okay.
I think what we do like matters, and I think it fills a need here in our community. I'm glad we have it. So,
what would you tell someone who's afraid to come to an event for the first time? It's kind of shy or doesn't know if this is for them.
Yeah, just show up, you can stay for as long or as little as you want,
Yeah, you were the one that taught me, like, it's okay to just leave something.
Yeah, just show up, and if you don't like, just leave. That's okay.
Yeah, totally.
You didn't like it, we're not going to see you again, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be weird. We'll never see you again. Yeah, fair enough. That's a good sales pitch. I like that. Okay. Favorite story from, the entirety of the Jewish corpus. So whether it's the Tanakh or some other anything, what's like a favorite story, character? Anything. Could be Mel Brooks, doesn't matter.
No, I think so. My favorite story of just all sort of Jewish stories, legends.
Yeah.
Like my favorite story is that when the Israelites were crossing across the Red Sea and the sea opens up, is that on the side, like on the water, like they saw all of like Jewish like history and like what was going to happen, like sort of being played out like a movie as they walked through. Like, I don't know, something about that. It's like kind of gives you the chills a little bit. It's kind of, I don't know. I like it.
And you know what? Where is that from?
I have no idea.
So okay, so
I don't even know where I learned that from. Yeah.
So it's you,
but it's a thing. Everyone knows this, it's right?
No, they don't. And this is a you, me, and Edva thing.
Oh, really?
Of like all three of us think this is great, and also neither of us knows where it comes from.
Huh?
It must come from somewhere. We could probably ask ChatGPT.
I bet Matt knows.
I'm sure Matt knows. Matt knows everything. Matt's better at being a rabbi than I am. He's not even a rabbi yet. Okay. No, I'm with you on that because there's a fatalistic element of it. Of like, if they saw everything, they also saw the Holocaust
stuff
in October.
Yeah, they saw the bad, but they saw all the good stuff too.
Right.
And that like maybe that's what kept them going.
Right.
You know?
Right. That you can have some faith that ultimately positive things will happen, like Gamzula Tova.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Are you disappointed that your cats never had a formal Jewish naming?
Nah, I think they're okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're okay.
All right. Well, we're working on something, you and I, right? Special project.
That's right. That's special project related to the cats.
Yeah.
And Keela.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that'll be something.
Stay tuned. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Cool. Thank you, Rebbetzin.